What's good, everybody? It's Mr. Composition, the MC that writes fiction, back at it with another reaction. We got Joe Budden saying Drake, Kendrick, and J. Cole are ruining music releases. Now, if you're new to the channel, make sure you leave a like, subscribe, notification bells on so you don't miss when I drop a new video on the road to 5K. I want to come at this from an interesting perspective. As an artist myself, independent, I've had aspects in the music industry, but not like a crazy amount, like a any of the people like Joe Budden or anything like that. But also from a fan and a consumer of music and just how I've consumed music over the years, as well as making music. And I'm curious Joe's perspective on this. But also I want to give my own. So let's check this out.
Let's get back to it.
Yeah, this Cole. Now this part sound like I didn't love the drop, and I did.
No, the drop is amazing.
I love it.
Yeah,
I
it's dope.
absolutely
I love it.
I love the drop. I love the beat. I love the hook. I love the kids. I love the chords. I love the flip.
I just loved everything except like that. The words.
I just-
I hate the message.
I
He's
hate
at the
that.
end.
I hate that part of the
That's
end
it.
that he's killing. See, he's trying to trick me with great rapping. Because he is great rapping. But,
It is.
But
It's fuckery.
I just want like yo, for me personally, you left the battle. You didn't want no parts of that. Cool. I just want you to completely leave it alone. Get to the rapping that we know you to be great for.
See,
You know what I'm saying? You want to knock out some more features? Cool.
that's when people are criticizing J. Cole, because last video that I reacted to, from the villain deleted, there was a lot of people who was just all like, okay, that stand, and basically anyone that has any type of critique or criticism, there are several people I had to block and delete because it just got disrespectful. Like, it got to the point where it was just all like my subscriber count was being mentioned, me not being a quote unquote bigger rapper, anything like that, was brought up. Like, it was a point where it was just all like, oh, it's so interesting how failed rappers have critiques on this. Like, it is wild, but it's almost like they didn't even look at the video. They just saw thumbnail and was just all like, "Oh, let me go in." And my thing is, well, it really doesn't matter where I'm at in my rap career. I do think that I can have an opinion on it, whether it being a fan or a person that participates in hip hop. But if they looked at the video, they would see I wasn't hated on J. Cole at all. It was like he was saying, hey, you didn't want no part of it, like, and yeah, you could change your mind and different things like that. But again, it's been multiple times the way when J. Cole tries to kind of like backtrack something. And it's just all like, I mean, you would have been better off just like either standing on it or not responding to it, because it puts you in this spot where automatically you're going to be critiqued. And it's almost like you really can't, like, they're valid critiques, and there's several examples where that has popped up. So that was my whole confusion on what was the actual issue. Nobody was saying J. Cole was whack. Nobody was saying that he can't rap. It literally revolved around a few lines in the song. It didn't, like, people gotta quit throwing out the baby with the bathwater, type of thing.
I want the fall off. I don't need nothing else
I
from you.
feel
at
like we're
this
getting
point.
the. We got the full off.
Oh,
Yo, I say all the time that rappers have to be careful of how they title albums. I say that all the time, that words have meaning, and we could album
Yeah.
title some shit to life. Like,
Yeah.
I'm ready for the fall
Yo.
off too. And the album.
Joe Budden is right on that. And I think artists, I think you could definitely understand. That's why I am careful in the things that I say in songs, even if there's a certain emotion. There are certain words that I will not use. There's even the titling of, like you said, albums, titling of songs, all of those things, because we've seen it play out too many times where it's just all like, oh, he talked that into existence and not in a good way. And for some reason, it seems to be the negative stuff, that ends up being brought to fruition. But one could argue that they did get the other aspect of it, due to um their celebrity and success and different things like that. But yeah, no, it definitely he has a point on that.
Right.
And I refuse to believe that Cole didn't realize he was better off not addressing anything from the battle. I don't believe that. I think Cole knew if he got on there on a dope beat with a dope hook and some dope rapping and just put it out, then he'd have been in a better position than this. He knew that and still did this.
You think he knows that?
Yeah,
I think he do.
He knew that.
I think he does.
For sure he knew that. He ain't that dumb.
I
You
think
don't
he
get this big being that dumb.
I really think this was just he had to make sure he sent his message to Drake. He
Yeah.
see everything that's going on out there.
Text him.
Hey, hold on, dog. I don't have no problems with you. Hey, for all we know, Drake might not be texting the nigga back.
True. Nigga don't
I might
respond to me,
can't
I ain't
reach you.
talking to him.
I might can't reach you because hey, you
This verse
ain't fucking with nobody.
You
this
don't
verse-
respond to me, I might dish you now.
This verse sound like that. This verse sound like that, even if that's not the case.
This sound like this is my only way to reach you, and I just want you to hear this. That I don't want no problem with you. I'm appreciative for everything you did. Thank you. Don't let them people gas you into thinking we got something. Or on my end, I don't have anything.
Well,
that's
that
what it
showed
sound
Drake
like.
liked it.
And that's back to my point. That's back to my point. If I got to put a message in a bottle and throw it in the ocean to get to you, I ain't about to keep calling you my friend. We ain't friends. All
Yeah,
this
for
fucking
real.
fake fancy friendship bullshit. Stop it. It's over for that. It's 2025. Everybody that works in the music business has gotten fired. Nobody knows how music will be consumed for the next however many years. And none of y'all are making money from music. Of course, I'm not talking about the big three.
And now
But
they're devaluing it more by fucking dropping on Instagram.
what do
Are
y'all
they disgusted?
what do y'all think about that aspect of
It's
this?
disgusting. I get
Okay.
that there's a deal with
Oh, this is where they're about to get into this. So they saying that it is making it less valuable because it's being released on Instagram. As an independent artist, I don't find that. The reason why is because it's just all like as an independent artist having something go off and yes, of course you want the streams and different things like that. But if you're able to build and generate fans off of that, then that is freaking dope. When it comes to, a big artist doing that type of thing, it's almost like a power play because it's just all like, yeah, even though the labels may run, some of these other people's accounts, I wouldn't say that it's devaluing it because it ends up being on YouTube or on multiple platforms anyways. And it really is the same. It to me, I think that once artists are able to, like, if the song's dope, if they're able to have it to where the fans go directly to them to buy the album or buy the song, then it's a plus. But what I've learned is that some artists to not have to worry about that and to be getting screwed in the back end and different things like that, they don't care. They'll have the label do what they need to do. But I don't think that it devalues the music because it's already, it just being digital automatically puts it being on multiple platforms in general. So I don't think seeing it going on Instagram or the release of a song on a social media platform I don't think that it devalues it. I think if it's gonna be devalued, it was devalued with it being digitally in general. But what we've seen is that allows for the barrier to entry to be low, but it also allows for the track to spread like wildfire, versus if it just being, imagine if we had everything the same currently minus music being digital, meaning you can only get the physicals, meaning you can only hear it on the radio. I still think that we would kind of be in the same, predicament. It would be on social media digitally in some way, and it would allow for more reach, But let's see what they say.
Or Universal, whoever.
Universal and Meta.
Yeah, but I think when the top of the heap that can play around with free shit sets a trend, it's bad for everyone else.
Why?
Because everyone don't have a deal with Instagram. So if now that's where the expectation is to get new music, the people that don't monetize from it are going to be making less than they're making now off of fucking DSPs, which is next to nothing.
See, and that's where that's why I don't agree. I get what he's saying. He's saying that, with the bigger artists doing this, that's going to set a standard and that everybody's going to be expecting to listen to the new music on Instagram or TikTok or Facebook. And I don't think that's the case, because if that was the case, it would have already happened. I think them actually putting it on there, it is reminiscent of, because I thought when Dave Chappelle put that special on his Instagram, I thought that was genius, because it was just all like, yo, it's directly to the thing. And even seeing the numbers, to me, I'm just like, I get what he's saying. If you're not monetized, on it, then, it sucks. But it's just all like, but most artists, whether independent or side, are going to fall under that category already. I don't think what the bigger artists, are doing sets I don't think that it sets a certain standard. Is there aspects of it? Sure. But independent, underground, people who just aren't fully under that system are thriving when they figure out business, when they figure out, how to actually, do this. So yeah, I think that what he's thinking is already happening, but it's not in that way. Artists do stuff like that, and vice versa. There's stuff that, maybe a big record label, they probably do this all the time, sees that an indie or a smaller artist does, and they're just like, okay, yeah, let's go ahead and get the big artists to do that. So that's been going on. That's going to continue to happen. But no, I don't think that that's going to make it the standard because the artists are doing that.
I don't feel like Universal cares.
I know.
Evidently.
And
they haven't cared for the last how many years.
They control most of the musicians. They have the deal with Meta. That includes Drake, sometimes Kendrick if he's leasing through Interscope like he did during that battle, and J. Cole. So,
do y'all know the specifics of the deal?
And take into it.
No.
we ain't nobody.
Didn't TikTok tell Universal suck they dick?
No,
they came to an agreement.
Universal told TikTok to suck they dick.
I thought they still was beefing.
No, I think they came to an
No,
agreement.
they came back.
They fixed it.
The music is back.
They fixed it.
I
think that TikTok came back to the table and changed some things. I think Universal is moving like Universal. I think they're moving like we control everything, and what we don't control, my son controls some of it. We doing things this way, the foreseeable future. This is how we make our money. Anything besides that, we cutting budgets, we cutting people. That's it.
Bro, and I know this sounds bad, but from a business standpoint, that shit is genius. Look how many hundreds of millions of users is over there with Meta apps, whether it be Facebook, Instagram.
Not only that,
WhatsApp, all of that shit.
not only that, you got to take into consideration that as much as a lot of us artists like to say we're indie and different things like that, the sheer act of putting your stuff on a Spotify and a iTunes and on all these different DSPs and different things like that, guess who owns that? The labels. The labels. So for me, it's when I look at certain conversations like this, I'm just all like, I'm not even thinking about that because what I'm doing is trying to go directly, like someone like a Curtis King, different things like that. Go directly to where it's just all like, yeah, I dropped this track. You can get it from my website, and that goes directly to me. I don't have to wait. It's not getting like, for example, if I were to sell a single for $1 on iTunes, I would get so small percentage of that, let alone a stream, And though, yes, it's interesting that you can make money off of a listen, but if I can have you buy a single from my website and offer something a little bit more and sell it for $5, then I'm getting $4.80 of that for the most part. You know what I mean? Of course, there's certain processing fees and different things like that, but there's a big difference. And though, yeah, I didn't get those quote unquote streams, when as an artist, when I'm looking at certain things, I'm just all like, when we're looking at the bottom line and different things like that, there's certain things you don't even have to think about, and you got to work smarter, not harder. So if your thing is like, okay, let me understand the business, because when you do, then you understand as far as like I said, things like CD Baby, TuneCore, a lot of these are still under labels that are getting money, because they own the streaming service, because they own the platforms that allow for you to be able to be on these and get the discoverability. But then you have to ask yourself, what does that discoverability do? In regards to you being able to make this, sustainable. So it's
Like,
interesting.
yeah, if I can cut a deal with you that gets my music seen right to your
I'm not mad
your
at it
entire
as
fucking
an
user
early
base.
drop, but like put it on where I can buy it and download it.
Yeah, because I would like to purchase Port Antonio.
Yeah, and when the party dies and
All that shit.
yeah, all that shit.
And I mean, listen, feel however you want. This may be great for the music business. I'm always speaking for the business of music.
See,
Two different things.
yeah,
They about to condition people on how to receive new music
They-
from the biggest acts.
They did it already. This is streaming all over again. I had a conversation with a bunch of folks yesterday, and
Where you was at? You was outside?
no, it was on Twitter conversation.
Oh,
But
okay.
we was talking about, y'all know I don't stream. I still purchase, I download, etc.
Same.
For
I
the
do
actual
both.
for the actual files.
I do both.
So everybody like who used to do that shit and put music on your iPods, they don't remember how to do it
True.
because you've been conditioned to get it through streaming. Like, wait, I forgot how to take an MP3 and load it on my phone or put it over here. I
Which
don't remember
was-
how because I've gone.
which ended up completely having no need to have a separate device, because the device for the most part was storage for all of your tracks. You could still use that on your phone, but now instead of you having to store it, you can stream it, which again it's a double-edged sword when it comes to that. But as they're mentioning the future of consuming things, I can agree with that as far as, being able to, when you want to purchase those particular things, be able to purchase it. But again, that's why I was saying, as far as independent artists, like imagine, like they just said, because Kanye's pretty much getting it to that point. Imagine them being able to put it, again, all the streams, all the whatever, the views on Instagram for the Port Antonio, for the Kendrick tracks and different things like that. Boom, they got that as far as on social media. Now, there's going to be fans. There's people who want to actually purchase it. Imagine them being like, purchase the MP3 wave file, whatever, or the physical or whatever from this link, and it's to their website or something they own and control. You see what I mean? That's where the conversion comes from, because it's the same way as far as the radio. It's just all like they'll hear it and be like, oh, let me go buy this album. Does everyone that hears it buys the album? No. But the more people that hears it and likes it, the more as far as sales. So if anything, this may be a positive if more artists, and maybe it's just theory, but not really, because I've seen artists, independent artists, actually take advantage of this, and they're doing great. And like Joe Budden said, there's the music business. Listen, artists have to understand this. And I think as fans, if we're going to have certain dialogue, we also have to understand it, because then it's just all like, well, yeah, you're going to feel that way because you don't know what is actually going on. So that's why I say I want to come at it from an angle as the artist who participates and sees as far as these particular things, but also as the fan and how to consume it. As the fan, it doesn't, to me, I'm gonna hear it, no matter what. And if I want to purchase it, then purchase it. Their thing is it not being available on something like an iTunes or something like that for them to even be able to do that. But with me, yeah, I can sit up there, throw it on my Instagram. Like, that's why when you understand the music business and different things like that, it's like, oh, okay. Whoa, okay. So if I do this, because then this is the possibility, and I don't got to worry about all these different people taking from it for me to get this crumb. You know what I mean?
So many years of just press the button. So now you scroll all day on Instagram. I don't even have to open a Spotify, a title, or whatever. I can get my new music right here. People, the masses are going to roll with that. And they're going to be happy to roll with that.
And I think this is some low-key beef with TikTok.
Yeah.
This video is sponsored by yours truly, Mr. Composition, the MC that writes fiction. And for the month of October on my Mr. Composition Music YouTube page, I am doing one-shot music video a day. So for 31 days, there will be a new one-shot video, and the goal is to get that channel to 1,000 subscribers. So make sure to check that out, subscribe, show some love to the videos, and drop a comment, man. Let me know that you came from this channel. But anyways, guys, back to the video.
I think
If y'all want to see the rest, because I just wanted to get this point, then I'll leave the full, clip in there. But I don't, they also have to take into consideration how people listen to their music. Some of these apps, and not saying that in the future it won't change, but something like an Instagram, like if you close the app, then it can't keep on going, So some people are having it, set up in a certain place to where there's going to be that particular friction. Again, not saying that it won't be rectified, but even if it does get rectified, let's just say people are, which again, a lot of people are already doing it on YouTube, but let's just say the same place that you're scrolling and different things like that, you can go over and have music playing in the background while you're, scrolling on Instagram or something in the Instagram app. I don't think per se that is going to be a bad thing. It may be different. And that's the thing with a lot of these things. It's not necessarily that they're bad, it's that they're different. And what I've learned and what I'm continuing to learn is to be open to certain things that are going on and adapt. Does that mean to not be myself? No, but understand how people are consuming and how to maneuver as such. You don't have to get rid of yourself or anything like that. So that's what I think is interesting. Do I think that they're ruining the music release by doing that? No, I think that they're some of the um some of the people spearheading to where we're already like going, and so it's interesting because also on it being on Instagram or on a social media platform, you're getting real-time comments and things like that as it's happening. So, that's what makes it really, really dope because people can listen to it, be like, and drop a comment in it. You can't do that on the Spotify. You can't do that on the iTunes. You then have to go and maybe take a screenshot, post it somewhere, and say your opinions. But I think that this is going to allow for a more better connection as far as from the artists to the fans because they get to release something and it ends up being this event. Because even I was looking at certain web novels and certain apps, they'll have it to where you can comment like on the chapter and it'll show like on the chapter itself, which is crazy, but you get to see what people are thinking almost like in real time as you're reading it, which again, it just depends on the person because some people may really, really dislike that. Some people may be like, oh, that's really, really cool, but let me know what y'all think in the comments. Do you think that aspect of putting a song on an Instagram or TikTok first or exclusively is ruining the music release, or do you think that that's something where moving forward is probably a better way of doing things? Let me know in the comments. It's Mr. Composition MC that writes fiction. Back at it with another reaction. Make sure you like, subscribe, notification bells on so you don't miss when I drop a new video on the road to 5K. Make sure to check out the description for my music, books, comics, and more. All right, y'all. Peace.